Hello everyone, my name's Alessandra and today I'm going to be showing you how to make vegan cheese puffs using pre-made dough. You could use pie crust, pizza dough, or really anything. A gluten-free pie crust. Today I'm using crescent rolls. You'll also need oil or the type of pan that does not require oil, tofu or tofu alternative but just half of the block, nutritional yeast to taste. Now I'm just showing the dough I'm using again, but I'm not keeping it crescent roll shaped. And we're going to use half a cup of vegan cheese. And I'm using the green part of some green onions. You could also use scallions. And that's just a brush for the oil. First, take half a block of tofu and salt it. You could also use tofu alternative. You could even skip the salt if you like, but I think it adds some nice flavor. I'm also putting some thyme. Another thing you could skip or just replace with different seasonings, but I like it. Alright, and now we're going to squish it up with our fingers. And we're not breaking this up completely because we still have to add a few more seasonings. We're just trying to get it into smaller pieces so it's more manageable. And we're definitely not adding the nutritional yeast yet because that's going to make a gross paste on our hand. And now it's time to add the nutritional yeast. And we're going to break everything up more using a spoon. But first we're going to add some green onions or scallions. Like I said before, this recipe really depends on your taste and really how much dough you want to use and how many you're making. I normally have better knife skills than this, but I'm holding a camera. Now it's time to add our green onions, or scallions if that's what you used. And we're going to stir this up and kind of push the spoon down to make smaller pieces. Alright, now I'm taking vegan cheese shred. I'm using half a cup because I have only half a block of tofu, and I just think that's what's going to end up being appropriate for how much dough I have. It's better to have a little extra filling than too little filling. Alright, I added it and I'm stirring it in, and I'm still kind of smashing everything down. And the bowl is rotating because I'm filming with my other hand. Okay, here is the dough I'm using. It's a vegan crescent roll, showing you the ingredients, but we're going to use it like a pastry dough. I'm not sure if you've ever made croissants, but you're actually just going to like flour the dough. You're going to roll the dough out, and you're going to fold the dough over itself. And then roll it out again. Do this 2, maybe 3 times just so there's lots of air in the dough, regardless of which type of dough you're using. Now we're cutting our dough into perfect little squares, which is so easy to do with one hand. Like, wow, amazing. And also we're saving our scraps to roll back out. I wouldn't worry about overdeveloping the gluten if you're not using a gluten-free one. So now I'm taking one of the squares and I'm rolling it out nice and thin so it could fit some filling inside. And obviously I'm rolling it both ways. It doesn't have to be perfectly even since we're going to fold it up anyway. I have my little pastry square, and since obviously it's dry from the flour, I'm just brushing it with some water. And yes, this part I'm using water and not oil because I want it to actually stick together when I fold it. It will definitely not stick together if you use oil instead of water. Just save the oil for your pan. Now I'm taking my filling and just adding it on a diagonal. Okay, I guess I'll go the other way. Once again, so easy to do with just one hand. You could see our green onion, the tofu and all the seasonings, and of course our cheese. And now we're going to get ready to just pinch it together. Okay, roll one side in. Perfect. Okay, now roll one side in. And grab the other side and pinch it together. There we go. And we're going to repeat the process from the other end. If it's not sticking, just add some more water. And take the other end and pinch that on over. And perfect. And now I'm just brushing a pan with oil. Some of you might not even need to brush your pan with oil because you might be using like one of those weird rubber mats. Anyway, my oven broke, so I'm making these in a toaster, and this is the only tray that fits in there, so yeah. Actually, I'm doing this at my mom's house because I thought maybe her oven would be fixed, but it wasn't. Anyway. Pan is nice and oiled now. Now we're just taking our cheese puffs and we're placing them on the tray. Depending on what type of dough you used is how you're going to be baking them. Just basically bake them till golden brown. If you're using pizza dough, go for 400 degrees, but if you're using pie crust or the crescent roll, then go for 350, and this is Fahrenheit. So if you're using Celsius, just look it up on an app what you're doing. My crescent roll creations took 15 minutes to bake. And there they are. Happy New Year! At this point in the video, I'd like to thank all of my Patreon subscribers.